Our first guest is a very funny man with his own brand new television program called The Norm Show. It premieres Wednesday on another network. Here's our good friend Norm MacDonald. Norm? Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, too.
I got to tell you something, Norm. I'm very happy for you because one or two times ago when you were on the show, you had been fired. You'd lost your job at Saturday Night Live on the Weekend Update because those people didn't have the guts to stand by you. Because those people wouldn't know funny if it bit them in the ass.
Yeah.
And... they, of course, were hoping that they'd never hear from you again. Yeah. They were hoping, of course, that they had squashed out another career.
Right.
They thought, oh, okay, that's it for him. We don't have to worry about... Well, I saw two shows that you did, two of the Norm shows.
Oh, yeah, yeah?
I guess shows... They're unbelievably funny.
Oh, you like
They're
it?
great shows.
Oh, that's nice.
I believe this thing's going to be a huge hit. And then, and I don't want to tell you how to run your career, but then just line up all those punks over there at NBC. You know, your Don Myers, your Lorne Michaels, your Skippy, what was
Skippy Lowe, yeah. Skippy Henderson.
Yeah.
Oh, Skippy Lowe?
You just line up all those boys and tell them to kiss your ass.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. No, it was nice. I was working like all the time, so it was good. Like after the show, I got to I returned to my first love of doing nothing. You know, and then I hung out for a while, and then I started on this and everything like that. But it's nice.
Turned out great.
It turned out all right. I got a chance to just be
vindication.
What? I don't know. Who knows how the show will do?
I think it'll do pretty well. Because you're on right after the very popular Drew Carey show, and then your show, people dialing in to see you, and lo and behold, and you know, by the way, a lot of stuff on TV ain't that entertaining.
Yeah.
They dial up your show, and holy crap, it's actually funny.
Yeah, well, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good that it's going on after the Drew Carey show because a lot of people watch that.
Right.
And then people, they never turn the channels.
That's right, they don't. I mean? It's inertia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the clicker.
Well, they're in for a great surprise, my friend.
Oh, that's nice.
Congratulations, I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's nice.
See, and at the time... At the time, I think I was more upset than you were, and now that you're back on top, I feel like I'm happier than you were. I feel like I care more about your career than you do. Is that possible?
Well, I like, mostly I like watching TV.
Did you, if you like watching TV, you had your hands full last night with the Academy Awards. You had 4 hours there. Did you,
yeah,
you get to see any of that?
Well, I watched it all. I don't know the movies this year, you know?
The nominees?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't see it. The only movie I saw was the Life is Beautiful movie.
Oh, Roberto Benigni.
Because I love Roberto Benigni.
Entertaining.
Yeah. But I'd never seen him in a movie. The only time I'd ever seen him was on your show, and he was always real funny.
Yep.
And so I went to that movie. It was in Life is Beautiful. And I'll tell you something about that movie. It might be a great movie and everything, but it's got a huge drawback. None of the characters speak English. You know? And for me, a person who it's the only language I understand is English, you see? So I'm screwed. I'm like, what the hell? And then, of course, and then the title is English. They fool you, you know?
Yeah,
like, Life is Beautiful. Those are all 3 English words,
Yeah, there you go.
So I wouldn't have gone if it was like, amore, d'amore, more, you know what I mean? That's an Italian word.
Yeah, is it? I don't know.
It's the only Italian word I know.
Yeah, well.
So, and then I get in there, so it's all these dudes speaking Italian, you know, and I'm trying to, and so what they do is they put words, you know.
Subtitles.
Subtitles.
Yeah.
So now now I have to read, which is the reason I go to movies, so I don't have to read. You know? And you know how annoying it is when you're reading and somebody's reading over your shoulder? Well, it's like 200 people reading over your shoulder. But he's a funny guy.
Yeah, yeah.
He pretended the whole unpleasantness there in Europe was a joke.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yeah, he has a kid. He has a little 10-year-old child, and they go to a Nazi concentration camp, and his kid's not that bright. So he just pretends that to the kid, like you'll see like crazy like Nazis doing it, and then Roberto Benigni gets behind them and goes. So the kid thinks it's a big joke.
Let's move on, Norm.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're living in Los Angeles now, where you do your hit TV show.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like Los Angeles.
You're originally Canadian, right up in the Toronto area?
Toronto, yeah.
Yeah. Come down here to New York.
I come to New York, and Toronto and New York is great because they have cabs and subways, because I don't know how to drive a car, you know.
You don't drive at all?
No, I never learned how.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I don't like them. I find them dangerous, you know? Like, you drive and you're in a car and you're going like 70, and then another car comes, he's going 70, right? And then there's like a foot between you, you know?
Yeah.
You're like, ah, and they're honking. And then who knows what, it's only a foot, you know? They move a little bit and there's a crash, and you're always seeing crashes every time you drive.
Sure.
There's a crash, there's a big twisted wreckage of a crash, you know? And nobody seems to care. They're like, oh, I guess I'll be late for work. You know?
So you don't drive at all?
You know, like imagine you're in a plane and you're flying and you look out, there's some plane wreckage on a mountain, right? Or a plane comes beside you like 10 feet. Ah, he's honking, you know?
That's sky rage. So you... No, I don't think so. But now you're living in Los Angeles, where it's nearly essential to be able to drive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, everything's far apart from each other.
What do you do?
I bought myself a bicycle. And I don't know how to drive a bicycle either, but on a bicycle you can just go on the sidewalk, so you're the most dangerous, you know. And so I go to the bike store, I don't know, and the guy's telling me, hey, all these bikes, you know, they have all this technical mountain bike. I'm not going to be on a mountain.
Right.
You know? I'm just going to be on the road, the sidewalks. So he goes, what kind of bike you looking for? So I said, I don't know, I think I'd like a red bike, you know. And so he sells me this one. And it's very complicated nowadays. You got to get a lock, you know, and the locks, they aren't like the old days, just a soft lock. They're hard. He goes, hard lock that you have to, it's, you know, because he says, we always got to stay ahead of the bike thieves, you know, bicycle thieves. So, this bike lock was impossible to turn on.
Combination kind of deal?
Oh, you had to go around the thing and, like, twist it. Anyways, so it's hard to explain. So I drive on my bike to get some groceries over at Ralph's. And
you shop at Ralph's?
Oh, Ralph's is the best.
Is it nice there?
Oh, yeah. If you like apples.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You like apples?
I do. I like apples. Produce, good produce?
Yeah, oh, the best apples, man. So I go.
You run a lot of specials at Ralph's? Or they have like the everyday low prices?
No, they're everyday low prices,
That's
you know?
Yeah.
So I get my bicycle to the Ralph's place, you know, and I try to get this damn lock on. It doesn't work. I can't figure it out or anything like that. So then I figure to myself, I'll just leave it here unlocked.
Right in front of Ralph's?
Yeah, because I figure, what's the odds of my unlocked bicycle and a dirty bicycle thief showing up at the same time?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to be in there all day?
Yeah, just like 5 minutes, buy some cookies and some, you know, an apple. So I get my groceries out. You know, I bought a lot of groceries, you know. I bought a whole bunch of groceries, and I get out, my bicycle's gone.
No.
Yeah, some dirty bicycle thief has stolen it, you know?
My God,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. You have terrible luck.
Yeah, it's just a happenstance that happened. So there's a security guy there, you know, the Ralph security guy. I run up to him. I say, hey, man, did you see somebody steal a bike? And the guy goes, no. He says, I saw somebody just get on a bike and ride away. He goes, was it locked? I go, of course it was locked, you know. And then I realize I'm holding the lock in my hand. So I look.
It's a bad deal. Stay right there, Norm. We'll be right back here with Norm MacDonald. I tell you right now, I wish the Norm Show, that's what they call it, the
Norm Show.
Yeah, I wish that was going to be on the CBS network instead of the ABC network.
Yeah.
Because CBS needs all the help we can get. ABC is fine. They got Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
And whenever things start to sag over there, she'll interview Oprah. And so they don't need any help. We need a blockbuster smash comedy hit.
Yeah, you got Everybody Loves Raymond. I love that.
That's right. See, this would be
great show. You guys love that show?
This would be the perfect. This would be the perfect companion piece to Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
Everybody Loves Norm.
Huh?
What kind of a kid were you when you were a kid?
Me? When I was growing up?
Yeah.
I was all right.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the show. The Norm Show.
Go ahead.
The Norm Show, because I have to do this, you know.
Tell the people what it's about.
Because I have to, you know, promote it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not comfortable in promoting. But
You only have to promote the first one, and then
yes,
after
and
that,
then
everything
all right.
takes care of itself.
Right. So it's about me. I play a dude named Norm.
Right.
That was my idea. And so I'm a guy who got kicked out of the NHL for gambling, you know, right? And then I have to do community service as a social worker, you know, and I hate it. I don't like being a social worker. So that sounds pretty funny, right?
I enjoyed it. I've seen the first two shows, and it made me laugh out loud.
Yeah. See, the problem is, Dave, I'm not a great, like, promoter, you know, like my manager's always saying, I got to get out there and, like, promote, and I'm not comfortable with that. I'd rather just, you know, talk and tell stupid stories and everything like that. So I was thinking, you know, like, since my manager's always, oh, you got to promote it,
right.
I was thinking that maybe he could come out and just promote it himself because, you know what I'm saying?
You have a manager?
Yeah, I got a manager. I had to because I only had an agent, and he was no good, and then they said, you got to get a manager. So you got to get a manager, you got to get a manager. And so they said, you know, maybe Mike Ovey, says all these guys. But I picked this dude, that he's my manager. And I thought maybe I could bring out him and he can, like, promote the show.
You're not talking about here now, are you?
Yeah, he's here right now. Come on.
Here now. Oh.
Yeah. Come on out, man.
Norm MacDonald! Norm! Meet Norm! How you doing, man? Funny man. Love you, bro. Love you. Stand up. Norm MacDonald, y'all. Norm MacDonald, here he is. Put the C in comedy. Put the L in levity. It's Norm MacDonald, and it's our show on Wednesday night, 9:30 on ABC.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Oh, can I sit down? Oh, I'm excited. Norm MacDonald, y'all.
Yeah.
On the great David Letterman.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So,
Don, shouldn't you be out fixing fights?
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm going in a new business now.
he's done with boxing.
I'm in a new business now. They didn't want me there, so I'm here with Norm, and Norm's show gonna be great. Just as I predicted about this man sitting here years ago, that he would be global and a superstar, universal, and here he is, David Letterman, y'all.
Yeah, that's right.
There he is.
Now, let me just say this.
Ask Don what happened to that Lennox Lewis thing. What was going on there?
Let me tell you something. With that Lennox Lewis thing, if you fix a fight, you do not go to the judges. Am I right?
That is right.
That's right.
That is right. Talk to him. Not only is he funny, he's clever. He understands. Yes. Oh, we are so excited to have our new show, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, listen, Norm.
Now, let me tell you something, though, Don. In all fairness, you know, it's going to be tough. We have stiff competition here on CBS.
Oh, is that right? Who are you up
well,
against
we're
on
up
CBS?
against.
You don't have no competition.
Don, we're up against 60 Minutes 2, which is a very, you know.
60 Minutes, who?
60 Minutes.
Does he have Mike Wallace?
No.
Do they have Ed Bradley?
No.
No.
Maury Schaefer?
No.
Do we have Andy Rooney?
No.
You know what I mean? Do they have Leslie Stahl?
No.
What are you talking about, man? 60 who? It's the Norm MacDonald Show. Yes, baby. What are you talking about? You ain't got no competition. You gonna soar like an eagle, baby. Oh, man, this is a great comedy act here. I'm telling you, this man is good. And you know what makes our country so great is he's a Canadian, but we welcome him in because this is America, the greatest nation in the world. Greatest nation in the world.
Well,
I'm
Norm,
so excited. I'm so excited.
We have also on the show is Laurie Metcalf, who used to
She's damn good.
Yes, three-time Emmy winner. Oh, she's funny. Beautiful lady. Three-time Emmy winner. Beautiful lady. Oh, David, you've been so nice. Here you is on another network, and your heart is so big that you steps out and you help another guy that's struggling and bring him into the forefront, thrust him out there and to the light, and he's doing his job. You to be commended. Applauded.
Thank you, Don.
I mean, you are a true American.
We're about done with this?
Well, I just
Give Don a standing 8 count or something?
Oh, I'm so excited, Norm.
Don, since I've been in business with Don, my career is going excellently, you know? It really has. He really is a great manager.
Norm MacDonald.
And I'll tell you
Don King, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. Statue. Who is that guy in the statue? Is that George Washington? Or is that a statue? What statue are we looking at?
Roberto Benigni.
No.
He's nuts.
It's George Washington, isn't it? Am I wrong? It is George Washington.
Oh,
it's downtown, yeah. Federal Hall is what it is? Great, yeah. Don King is familiar with that part of town. Don't you always see Don on the 6 o'clock news coming out of that building?
Yeah, that's right.
With about 8 guys?
Yes.
Our next guest is a funny man and the star of his own popular television show entitled Norm. It premieres tomorrow night. Here's the always enjoyable Norm MacDonald. You look terrific. Boy, that's a beautiful suit. You look like $1 million.
Oh, yeah, I bought a suit. I got one for show the respect, you know?
Oh, I appreciate that. Show the respect to me?
Yeah,
Oh, well, thank you very much.
All right, I'll show the respect.
That's very thoughtful. How was your summer? What'd you do?
Man,
Anything good?
It was great. It was a lot of fun. I have a little boy, you know.
How old's your son?
He's 6 years old.
Oh, that's great.
I want to say 6. And he's a lot of fun. I do things with him, you know. We play and stuff.
What do you do? What kind of things?
I took him to Disney World.
Well, there you go.
Down in Florida. You ever go there?
I've never been there, no.
Well, you don't have, you're barren. Not barren, but you
That's
have
right,
no
I'm
children.
barren.
I'm sorry.
That's right, I'm barren. I'm infertile.
Only
That's right.
ladies.
I can't possibly have children.
No,
Thank you very much.
I didn't mean that. I meant you don't have children.
I don't have any currently, no.
So, but I got to tell you, man, if you ever have kids, I hope you will, then you should take
Have you been
place.
talking to somebody at the lab, Norm?
No, but Disney World is a beautiful place.
Yeah, so
you get to see...
What's your son's name, Timmy?
Little Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan. Not little.
Name for Bob Dylan?
Yeah, I named him for Bob Dylan, and I thought, hey, man, nobody's going to be named Dylan. That's a cool name, because when I was a kid, I always read Dylan...
Thomas?
Dylan Thomas, a Child's Christmas in Wales.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, nobody will have that name. And then everybody has that name because they had that kid on 90210. This is too long, right?
Well, you know, after that discussion of my fertility, I don't much care.
The point is, he's a good, well-behaved boy, and I took him to Disney World there. We had a lot of fun, my God. We went to the... They have a new thing. Usually they have the goofy Pluto, you know, the regular characters, but they also have actual animals in a safari park.
Oh, yeah. Wild, dangerous jungle beasts.
Yeah. And you take your child through and you see, and it's a lot of fun, except they don't tell you they're not wearing any pants. You know, like Goofy and Pluto, right?
What are you talking about?
Well, Goofy, you know how...
What in the world are you talking about?
You know when you see Mickey Mouse, right?
Mickey Mouse is a cartoon character.
He's always got some trousers.
He always has pants on, that's right.
Right. Well, the dangerous lion and elephant, they have no pants on
Because those
at
are
all.
real, actual living beings.
Right.
They're not animated cartoon characters.
Exactly, but I'm a living being. I don't want my child to see my, thing, right? That's what I'm saying. I don't want my child. It's fine for you and me.
Completely different species, Norm. A completely different species.
Still,
it's a whole different deal, my friend.
I'm not offended by it myself. But children ask questions, and they go, what's that thing there between the elephant? A big, giant, god-awful looking thing? You know? I don't know.
Sounds like you have a very special child, Norm.
I know. Maybe you find it very attractive.
No, I don't find it attractive. It's just I don't see it as a problem. It's just like it's a rhinoceros, Eddie. It's just a rhinoceros.
Right,
That's
but what would you say is the thing that...
I just say it's his wallet. It's where he... he keeps his... It's a shaving kit. That's where he keeps some change and a comb.
Yeah. Maybe if you had a few more dollars in your wallet, you'd have a kid. Ooh. I was joking.
You were joking. Now you're joking.
No, because I was trying to make it.
Yeah, you're trying to go. Very nice.
I bet you will have a nice kid one day. You'd be a great father.
That'd be fun. I'd like to have a kid.
You'd be a good
I hope he turns
man.
out just like you. Yeah, so where were we now? You and your son are there in Disney World.
Had a lot of fun. We got, you know, these animals like Mickey Mouse and Pluto and stuff. My kid loves them. They give autographs out. You know, the kids stand in line for like an hour.
You mean the costumed characters?
Yeah,
right.
not the actual animals.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you get the kids are all excited. Hey, I'm going to get Mickey Mouse's autograph. Of course, you and I know that ain't Mickey Mouse. That's some college kid, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm not going to stand in line an hour
You know that for a fact.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm not going to stand in line an hour to get some dude's autograph. You're
very savvy, Norm. You're very savvy.
So I said to him, I said, listen, Dylan, have you ever heard of the character parking lot attendant?
Oh. Pretty good. Get him in the car and get him home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's a good boy.
Yeah. How's the show? Are you all excited about the premiere?
Yeah.
What do you got coming up for us? What's new? What's happening on the show? You got to have a hook. You got to have a gimmick, my friend.
Yeah. Yeah. We're trying to get the guy I'm doing it with, you know, he's the co-creator, this dude. He said, we got to get celebrities, you know, because...
Guest stars?
Guest celebrities, because a lot of the shows have celebrities. Like I saw Dharma and Greg was on your show last night. Bob Dylan going to be on
that's
show.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And, you know, Heidi Klum's on another show. So anyways, they said, let's get some celebrities.
Good idea.
Yeah. And then it turned out they wanted me to phone celebrities. I said, do you have any celebrity friends you could phone?
Oh, yeah.
And I don't have any at all. I don't know anybody.
Does that make you feel kind of wormy when you have to place that call? I hate doing stuff like that. Because I know they don't want to hear from me.
I got one guy.
Oh, really? Well, that's good. So you're doing better than I would.
You know that guy that was Maud's husband? Played Maud's husband?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Bill Macy.
Bill Macy, exactly, yeah.
So Bill Macy eats at this restaurant that I eat at.
Yeah.
And he's across the way, so I said, hey, Bill, listen, man, you want to be on that TV show I have?
Yeah.
He goes, sure. So that'll be sweet. I think we're doing that in sweeps.
But is he going to be on? Really? Well, do you want him on?
Oh, yeah. I love that guy. He goes, Maud, sit.
Yeah. That's it, then.
That's the only guy we got. But I think the idea is once Bill Macy does it, other guys will want to jump in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll start a firestorm.
It's getting that first guy.
The show, when is you changed the name, it's no longer the Norm Show, it's not just Norm. Did we cover that before?
Yeah.
It's Norm, right?
They changed it to Norm, yeah.
Wait, it's not the Norm Show.
No,
what happened there?
I don't know. They figured that would rev things up.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
No, you know, they take out the. It's like for love of game, that movie. Love game. They took, the actual expression is for the love of the game.
Right.
They took the thes out to speed things up. You didn't know that story?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I knew that story. Oh, so it's a great story.
You hate me now because of the stuff about your testicles.
Norm,
I love you. You're my favorite
I couldn't be more flattered when guests come on the show and discuss my testicles. It's one of my favorite things. It's certainly not discussed at home.
I'll be great now. I'll be a good man next time. I always like to show you the respect. You're my favorite guy.
Yeah, what the hell happened with the suit to show me the respect? You moron! What are you trying to pull here?
No, hey, congratulations on the Emmy.
Yeah, we're just kidding.
You're the funniest show on TV.
Thank you very much.
And I feel bad.
Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back, everybody. I'm Tom, and The Late Show is on the air now. The Late Show backstage from CBS Television City in Los Angeles, California. I haven't been back to CBS since I left The Late Late Show back in March of 1999. And I am especially pleased to be asked to come back in here and help out with the work while my friend David Letterman recovers from quintuple bypass surgery. Very, very surprising news when we learned that Dave had to go through that procedure, but he's coming back soon. As a matter of fact, he'll be on the air live on tape here on CBS on Monday night, the 21st, an event that will be, I'm sure, heavily promoted by the television network. My first guest tonight is a favorite of yours and a favorite of Dave Letterman's. He's been on Dave's show a number of times. I'm sure you know him from his work on Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live, and he's now the star of the Norm Show on the ABC television. You see, I still can't talk, which is why I'm not on anymore. The ABC television network. His name is Norm MacDonald, and thank you for coming on and helping out with the work here while Dave is getting better.
Yeah, well, that's the important thing, is that Dave gets better, you know? Right?
That is the important thing, Norm.
He had a quintuple bypass, which kind of close to me, because my dad had a quintuple bypass.
Is that right?
Had the same surgery.
You know,
and he lived like another 10 days after that.
Yeah, you should have been finished, you know.
But he was an older man. He was like in his 50s.
I would assume that when they were trying to come up with a title for the show at ABC, somebody said, why don't we just call it Norm?
Right. No, that's not a true story.
Oh, it isn't?
No.
How did that happen?
They wanted to have me called a character name of Billy. Yeah, but things quickly became problematic with that, because during the scenes, whenever a person would say to me, "Hey, Billy," I would go, "Huh?" And then they go, "Billy, Billy." And then I go, "Oh, yeah, Billy." Right. Yeah, I'm Billy. And it would waste a lot of time.
It didn't quite fit for you, right?
No.
Because your name's not.
Because my name's not Billy, it's
Go.
Norm.
Right.
So I says to the guy, I says, one name's the same as the next, right? You know what I mean? Norm, Billy, Sam.
Jim.
Yeah. Aren't they all really the same? When we really get down to it, I says, why don't you call me Norm?
Make it easy.
Yeah, and then there's a girl on the show, Lori Metcalf. I says to the fella, I says, why don't you call her Lori? And since then, everything's gone swimming.
Let me ask you here, and I saw this, and you were never funnier when you hosted the show here recently, you know, last couple of months.
That?
Oh, yeah, you were very, very funny. As you said at the time, if I wasn't funny then, how could I be funny now? Right, and then you went on to demonstrate. In any event, the first night that when you walked back in to do that show, what was it like going back into 30 Rock?
Well, it was kind of odd. I'd taken a lot of the pill Xanax. So I felt like very sedated and comfortable. And everybody was like, hey, man, I thought you'd be nervous. And I go, oddly, I'm not. I'm not nervous. I don't know why.
Did you call the Letterman Show because you announced on Dave's show, or you told the public that you were no longer with Saturday Night Live?
I was booked on the Letterman Show the next night, right? The next night.
If you say so, yeah.
Yeah. And so I said, oh, well, I may as well talk about, I just talk about what's going on in my life. Because I find that truth is funnier and stranger than fiction.
So you went on there and told that story, and then Dave was kidding you about Don Ohlmeyer, et cetera, as I
Right.
recall.
Dave was much more upset about it than me. Because Dave wasn't under the influence of Xanax. No.
Please welcome Norm MacDonald. Norm! How you doing?
I'm doing good. Oh.
No, that's all right. I'm just slow. That's okay. Happy New Year, buddy.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you very much for being here.
Yeah.
You don't mind if I ask you a question?
What's that?
I hear this story, and there's like this press release that you get your ass fired. Is that true? No, you didn't get fired.
Yeah, they fired me.
No, they didn't fire you.
No, I'm serious. I talked to a guy that said I'm fired.
Fired from your television job?
From on the weekend, you know, I do the news segment.
Yeah, the weekend update.
Yeah, and I do the jokes.
Sometimes, many times, the best part of the show.
Yeah. But it's all a matter of opinion. That's your opinion.
That's my opinion, yeah.
But then the guys that can fire me, that's not their opinion.
Now, why would they fire you?
Well,
who fired you, first of all? Let's get some names here. Let's get this on the record.
Well, I don't know the guys, like, because the guys I work with, like Lorne Michaels and stuff.
Did Lorne Michaels fire you?
No, he didn't. He didn't fire me.
Right.
He likes me and stuff.
Well, it's his show, isn't it?
I thought it was his show, yeah. But,
well, then how can a guy come in from the outside and fire you? Somebody from ABC fired you?
No. They're NBC. What happens is, you work on the show, and then there's these guys that hang out, like, in the halls.
Yeah, we got them here. We got them here.
And they're called executives. They're NBC executives, right? And then I'd see them. I didn't know who the hell they were, what they did, you know? Now I know what they do. They fire me from Weekend Update. But they said that this guy, Don Ohlmeyer, who turns out to be the president.
Yeah, now I know Don Ohlmeyer, and just between you and me, he's an idiot.
Oh.
So I wouldn't take it seriously. If this guy fired you, you may still have a job. You never know. I'd wait for some paperwork.
No, I phoned him, you know.
Oh, you had to phone in to pick up your messages from the... Oh, man.
Yeah, so I said, hey, you don't know what to say. You're like, hey, how's it going there? You know, you're trying to talk about something else.
Yeah.
Did you have a turkey there for the thing or whatever? I don't know. And then, so he goes, oh, yeah, I'm firing you there from the show. And then I said... oh, that's not good. You know? And then I said, why is that now? And he goes, oh, you're not funny.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh, Lord, that's even worse news, you know? He goes, no, I don't got nothing to fall back on.
No.
He's a good man.
Well, he just fired you. What do you mean he's a good... What is wrong with you? You quisling? Stop that.
I don't know what quisling means, but... But I mean, to me, like, you know, you have to be philosophical about these things. I mean, at first, like, when I found out, you know, I was upset. But then, you know, I really started to think about it, you know, and plus I drank a lot of whiskey. And then afterwards...
the edge off it a little, I'm
guessing.
guessing.
I just thought, like that. But then the next day I sobered up and I remembered, you know, that I still had some whiskey left.
So you went right back to it.
And one of the things that you did on Saturday Night Live was the Letterman impression.
Right.
Did you have to clear that in any way or check it out?
Well, not legally, but...
No, but I mean, just as a courtesy, you know.
Yeah, I told him, yeah, I won't do it if you don't want me to do it.
Yeah.
Because I have, like, great respect for him. I didn't want to do it in any way insulting, so I just tried to do an exact impression with no comment on it, you know what I mean? And then Letterman phoned me, and he said he was okay with it, you know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I felt better about that.
You say you did 3 or 4. I'm not familiar with the others that you do.
I do the Bob Dole.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Slim Pickens.
Yeah. I like the Bob Dole. Now, did Dole take umbrage at all? Do you think he ever got upset with it?
No, he loved it. He used to phone me and stuff, and he always wanted to come on the show. He came on the show at the end and everything. Yeah. Because I liked him, too. I can only do impressions of guys I really like.
Wouldn't you love to ask Dole, like, when he was doing the commercial for what they now call erectile dysfunction?
Yeah.
And I mean, how do you feel when you sit down and do that kind of a commercial? I mean, it's got to be a little embarrassing, you know.
I don't feel that an old man should have erectile function.
Were you ever like a bonehead? Did you ever do punk stuff when you were a kid?
Well, when I was young, I was crazy. Like, I'd do anything, you know.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like, because you're young, you don't care, you know, you don't have a job or anything, right?
Yeah, sure.
You're just drifting around from town to town. But I remember one time, like, because I used to do, you know, like for the purposes of this show, like beer, you know?
Have a little beer?
Yeah. And So I was like ripped out of my mind on this beer. It was like that beer where you like hallucinate, where you had so much beer, you know?
Got some really good beer.
Yeah, it was good beer. So I remember I went to this place. There's this place in Canada called Ottawa.
It's the capital. It's the capital of the country.
It's the nation's capital, yeah. And so they have this thing every year. It's called the Panda Game, right? And it's
Panda?
Panda, like an animal.
Yeah, sure.
And so, but they just call it. That has nothing to do with pandas. So it's the University of Ottawa versus Carleton University. It's the two universities, and they play a game against each other.
Crosstown rivalry.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so everybody goes and gets parties up and they drink and they do beer and then they do some more beer and everything, you know? And sometimes they mix the beer with the beer.
Oh no. It's dangerous, isn't it?
It is.
Have to be very careful.
So I went to this thing, and the thing about the Panda Game is it's just a big party, and every year somebody does something crazy, you know? Like the engineering students from one of the things. Like one time they put a bunch of greased pigs on the field.
Yeah, college pranks.
Yeah, college pranks. One year they made a big slingshot, giant one, and they shot like water balloons over to the other side to hit. And so every year everybody wonders, hey, I wonder what's going to be the big prank. Yeah. So then I was there. I was really wrecked, you know. I was like, and so in my head, right, I go, I'm going to figure out the prank to do. I'm going to be that guy, you know. And so I'm walking around. I'm no good at pranks, you know. And I'm walking around the stage and I'm trying to think, and I see, you know where they sell the hot dogs, the hot dog stand?
Yeah.
There's a big, like, mustard thing where you push on the top.
The big pump, sure.
You know those big yellow things? And you push on the top to get some, for your delicious hot dogs and mustard?
Yeah.
So I go, I'll grab this hot dog mustard thing. And so I grab it and I'm like walking away and I get back to my seat and I go, my idea was I'll chuck this giant mustard thing onto the field and then it will cause a big mustard stain on the football field. And I thought that would be really cool because mustard is hard to get out. And so I get there, you know, but I'm really wrecked and I get there and I go, and plus I was way up, like way up. There was I would have had to have superhuman strength to get that thing there. And I don't have superhuman strength.
No, just a guy.
I'm just a guy, you know. And so I take up the mustard, I go, ha! And I throw the mustard up, right? And then the mustard just goes up a little way, and then I see like the top like starts spinning off of it. And then this mustard all comes out. And then I just see all these guys like right in front of me, you know? And then so my buddy goes, run for your life, you know? So I start running like this.
And that's it.
That's the whole story.
Norm, you had a couple of beers before the show, didn't you? This weekend on Saturday Night Live, Rob Lowe and the Spice Girls plus Joe Pesci. Now, got a couple of seconds. Go ahead, do it. Let me see it.
What?
Come on, let me see it. Just a little. Just a little.
What's that?
Just a little. You know what I'm talking
What
about.
would that mean?
Just let me see a little of it. Come on, Norm. Come on.
I got to do it with Paul.
All right, do a little with Paul.
Me as myself?
Yeah, you got to play yourself.
All right, I'll play myself.
Oh, God.
Yeah, cool. Not so easy when I'm sitting right here, is it, Big Shot? There we go.
Okay, here it goes.
Yeah,
I'm not ready for this. I don't know.
I know you're not ready now. No. You're ready on your little show, but you're not ready here. You got all week to get ready on your little show.
Okay.
Here we go.
So it's like, who's going to be the...
I don't know. Oh, Rob Lowe. Rob Lowe and the Spice Girls. Joe Pesci.
Yeah, Paul, Rob Lowe and the Spice Girls will be on. Do you enjoy the Spice Girls, Paul?
Spice Girls, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they'll be on the show. Yeah. And Paul, do you watch the Saturday Night Live show?
Yeah.
What time is that on now, Paul?
Huh?
I say, what time would that be on?
It's like it's 11. It's live. I think.
Yeah.
Norm MacDonald.
Now, when he puts you on the spot like that, you know, to do the impression right in front of the man,
Yeah.
That's got to be a little scary, huh?
Yeah, it was very scary, and because I had just done it on Saturday Night Live the week before, and when I came on, I was sure. I said, Dave's going to ask me this question. So everybody that works at the Letterman Show, they all know Dave.
Yeah.
You know, so like, I know Dave, he won't ask you. So I'm like, all right. So it turns out they don't know Dave. And, you know, I, as a casual viewer, turns out know him better. Yeah.
When you're not working, what does Norm like to do?
What do I like to do? I like to travel, Tom.
I heard you didn't.
Well, for the purposes of, I didn't know, I actually like to drink, but I mean, for the purposes of this wraparound.
We are backstage, and it is a wraparound, yeah.
I thought I'd talk about the travel thing, because soon we'll be seeing a clip of that.
Is that right?
Me talking about travel.
Is there a mode of travel that you prefer? Flying versus trains, driving versus?
I like to drive a car. I mean, I like to fly a plane. I do not like to drive a car because flying is very safe, whereas driving is extremely dangerous. You know, driving a car.
True, true. Statistically, at least, what you say is true.
And just from your eyes, anecdotally, if you're driving along, hey, what do you see? A giant crash, right, of a car. You never fly a plane. You never see wreckage on a mountain or anything like that. You see constantly car accidents, and yet you think, that could never happen to me unless I was here a minute and a half earlier.
That's right, but you, in your own way of looking at things, have determined that driving is not safe, and therefore you.
I don't drive.
You don't drive at all?
I don't drive, no. I don't know how to drive, and I will never drive in a car.
How did you get here today?
Oh yes, well I ride.
You had some time off. Have you taken some vacation? Have you gone anywhere? Traveled?
Yeah. I went. I wanted to get away from all the showbiz. Crazy showbiz.
Yeah.
So I decided I'd go on a vacation, you know.
Right.
And I don't like to go to hotels because all my years of doing my nightclub act, I don't like hotels.
Yeah.
So I decided I'll go, you know, my buddy tells me, he goes, hey, you should go to one of them bed and breakfasts. You ever hear tell of them?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. The idea is you go there, it's a guy's house, and you live in his room, and then he makes you some breakfast.
Right. Very. Yeah.
It's a thumbnail.
Yeah,
you know?
that's it, sure.
So I looked one up on the internet there, and I found one. I went to Vancouver Island, Victoria, which is beautiful.
Love
oh,
it.
my
Yeah.
God. It's God's little country. And so I go there, and I look up my place where I'm supposed to go. I have it on a little piece of paper. And I knock on the door, right? And there's no answer. So I knock again, and there's still no answer. So finally, I look like in the window there, and there's an old man sleeping on a couch, you know?
Yeah.
So I bang on the door, ringing the doorbell, you know? So finally I hear like, hey, keep your pants on there, you know, from the inside. And he comes to the door, old guy, you know, but I'd say 80, 85 years old.
Yeah.
Old Harold Delaney was his name.
Harold Delaney.
Yeah, nice enough gentleman, you know. And so I got in there and I says, well, I better go to sleep. There's no one else there, you know. Like, I thought it'd be like a whole bunch of people in different rooms, you know.
Yeah.
And it was just me.
Yeah.
So I go up and I go to sleep, and I'm ready to go to sleep, and a knock comes on the door, right? A knock on my bedroom door.
Right.
So I figure, uh-oh, old Harold Delaney wants to have sex with me there. You know?
That's the first thought that went through your mind, huh?
Well, I'm a young fella.
Yeah,
These days,
yeah,
anything
not a
goes.
bad-looking guy,
Yeah,
sure,
I'm
yeah.
not a,
Traveling alone, why
sure.
not?
And of course, I didn't come to Victoria to have sex with old Harold Delaney. You know, I came to do some sightseeing.
Of course.
Yeah. So then I hear him. He goes, well, you ought to play some Scrabble.
Oh, Scrabble.
Yeah, so I say, okay, that's good.
Sure.
I'll play some Scrabble. So I go down, and he pulls out this old Scrabble game there, and we start to play, you know, and I like Scrabble, you know. So I get the first turn, you know, because I picked the lower letter, and so I get the first turn. So I make rabbit, you know.
Pretty good.
It's a good word. And then I do it pretty quick. I take like a couple of minutes. And then old Harold Delaney, he takes like a half hour to like get his word. And the whole time he's not talking, he's not telling me old stories, because I like hearing old stories, you know. And instead, it was like for a half hour, it's just Harold Delaney going. So then after a half an hour of that, you know, I'm just sitting there. He comes up with his word. It's hat. That's his word, yeah. Hat. So he puts it, and he takes the word hat, and then he puts it like way in the corner on that triple letter score.
Right.
The triple word, the red one that you want to get to.
Yeah, sure.
But you can't just put it there.
No, it's got to have some relation to rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to move up there, you know, and finally get to there. But instead, he just puts it right there.
Oh, no.
So I go, all right, you know. And so then it's my turn, you know, I do something, and quickly, and then again, the same thing, like, you know, and then time going by, and then every word, and I was coming up with good words, you know, I had sleigh, you know, a sleigh ride, and avocado.
Whoa.
It was a 7-letter word.
Yep.
You get 50 extra points. I'm still way behind him.
He's just freelancing the board.
Yes. And so finally I decided I'm gonna I gotta say something, you know? So and all his words were like cup and hat, and I think it was just like things he'd see around the room, you know? And so I'm playing excellently. I should be in the lead, but instead I'm like 1,000 points behind. And finally, like, I gotta say something, you know? So he puts boot, you know, up on this triple, and it really annoyed me because I was building towards the triple letter, and he just puts boot, and so I said, finally, I gotta say something here, and I go, hey, old Harold Delaney there, I don't know, you can't put boot there, and then he goes, you never heard tell of a boot? So I go, no, I know what a boot is. I'm just saying. He goes, if a fella goes out there, has to wear a boot. So I go, no, I know what I made avocado. I know a boot. You know? And it just took him forever. And I think, and also I noticed a weird thing. There were no blanks. You know how you have the blanks in the game, and it's always good to use any letter, right? Yeah. I realized there's no blanks in this game, and I figured old Harold Delaney must have. When he got the game, figured, what the hell is that, you know, and throwing it away.
Can't use it.
Yeah.
You know, all afternoon, as we do this, you've been playing on and off with a cigarette. Do you smoke?
I quit smoking a year ago.
Good for you.
Thank you. You quit smoking.
Yeah.
And you, when you smoked at the Tomorrow Show...
We puffed. We didn't smoke. We puffed.
You probably caused many children to start smoking.
So you hold a cigarette and you never light it?
Yes, it helps me. I have an oral fixation, the doctors tell me. That never... I'm like Beretta. Hey, one time, you remember that time? This is really funny. This is one of the funniest things I ever saw on your show, was when Robert Blake came on and told that huge bull story. Remember that?
Yeah,
and then you couldn't even
we did it about
going,
6 times, as a matter of fact, yeah.
It was hysterical. All right, folks, I hold in my right hand tonight's top 10 list.
Another classic top 10 list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Don Rickles joins us shortly here on tonight's show. You know Don. You work with Don,
God,
I'm sure.
He's a great man.
You did a movie with Don.
I did a movie with Don, yeah.
Don.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Of course. Slip of the tongue, right?
So I was with Don, and he was hysterical. He's one of my favorite guys, so funny. And we did this long take in the movie where, because we hadn't really written that much, we figured we'd get Don Rickles.
Sure, wing it. And live your way through it, sure.
And help us with the film. So he started just insulting everybody, but then he started to run out, and at one point I was standing beside this other guy, a fat guy, and he goes up to, sometimes he just says stuff that makes no sense, right? And he goes up to the guy beside me and he goes, look at you. You look like a whale in Alaska, you know? Yeah. So that was a good thing. And then he comes up to me, and he's completely out. You can see in his eyes, he can't think of anything. He goes, look at you. Look at you. Why don't you go to Alaska and suck on a whale? You know? So I said, hey, that sounded a lot like what you just said to that guy.
Yeah, right.
And then he got real mad. Then he had like 20 of them.
We're back with Norm MacDonald, and I'm sure you're enjoying every hour of our time together. Richard Simmons was to have been here tonight, but Richard is out helping people lose weight in the Dakotas tonight, so he couldn't be here. Do you work out yourself? Are you an exercise person?
No, I got one thing. I got the abs of steel.
Oh, you do? Really?
No, I don't have them. I got a tape. I didn't even know what abs were. I never know.
Or why they're called that.
Yeah, or what you need them for, or anything.
Yeah, like how are your abs?
Yeah, they're like steel. And you still have to go to work. I don't know what you just show people? I don't know what you do with them. You know, they used to have the buns of steel with the ladies.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, and that would hurt.
And the what was the one Suzanne Summers? The Thigh Master.
The Thigh Master, yeah. Wasn't that your nickname for yours?
Not at all.
Oh, I thought it was you.
But I just wonder how you come on and you say, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like you to buy a product called the Thigh Master.
Yeah.
Or the guys who sat around a meeting table and said, we'll call it the Thigh Master.
Right.
Say, yeah.
Don't they have the Ass Master? That was your nickname. I thought they had the Ass Master.
This ain't cable, kid.
I know.
Very funny stuff when he goes out, Letterman, with people, around.
Yeah, the door-to-door stuff.
Door-to-door.
Great.
And how about the time
I was a door-to-door salesman.
Did you really? What'd you sell?
Doors. It never worked out.
What other jobs have you had besides actor and comedian?
I was a town drunk, village idiot.
No, but be serious for a second. Yeah. Did you ever wait table or drive a cab or something like that?
I did. I don't drive, but
right.
I worked.
Did you have a ride cab?
Right. It doesn't pay well, though. I did a lot of manual labor. Did all manual labor.
Really?
Yeah.
Like brickwork?
Brickwork, I did. Yeah.
You're making all this up as we go, aren't you?
No.
That whole thing that we showed about the Scrabble game, you made that whole thing up, did you?
No. That was true. Truth is stranger than fiction.
You
I
said
keep
that.
trying to tell you that.
Heavy lifting?
I did a lot of heavy lifting. I moved furniture. That's a hard job.
Yes, it
moving
is,
furniture because the stairs are never right for the contours of the giant couch that you have to lift up. But people that I worked with, man, they loved lifting furniture.
Yep.
One time, this is an interesting story time. It's probably too long, but I was working with an old guy, old guy. His name was Gus, and we had to move this thing up a ladder, see, to a balcony because we couldn't get it up the twisting spiral staircase.
Okay.
So we have to go outside and put a ladder up. So old Gus, he's on the balcony, you understand?
Yep.
With a rope holding this giant refrigerator.
And abs of steel.
And abs of steel. I'm on the bottom climbing up the ladder, pushing the refrigerator.
Yeah.
I slip off the ladder and fall down, and old Gus has the entire weight of the refrigerator. And all his muscles are shooting out, and he wouldn't let go,
Abs of steel.
Abs of steel. That wasn't a good story.
No, it's a great story.
Was it
It's
all
a
right?
fabulous story. We're here with Norm MacDonald. Have I said that before tonight?
Yeah.
Any good wishes for Dave before we move on here?
Yeah, the best wishes.
Man, the sincerity just flows off of you.
I love Dave.
I know you do.
And I love you. I'm glad to see you back on TV. You kept saying when you were leaving that one day you'd be back.
And the truth is stranger than fiction. Dave returns on Monday night. Don Rickles is still ahead, and our thanks to Norm MacDonald for joining us here tonight. Late Show backstage at CBS TV City in Los Angeles. Continued success on the Norm Show.
Thank you, sir.
And continued success in your life.
Thank you very much. You too.
My pleasure, sir.
See you at the dog park.
See you at the dog park.
Our next guest is a very funny man and the star of the popular television program Norm. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our good friend Norm MacDonald. Norm, come on out. Norm, how you doing? You all right?
Oh, great. Yeah.
Now, you said to me when you came out, and I appreciate it, you said, hey, nice to see you, man. And then you looked at me and you said, you look great. But the look in your eye, I could tell you didn't mean it. Now, do I look bad? Do I look like I'm fading here?
No, I felt weird saying you look great always means like it sounds
Compared to being dead is what you were thinking, right?
Actually, like when I saw you on Monday, because they were promoting it all day, but they never showed you in the promos.
Yeah. Slick, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, I wonder what Dave's going to look like. And I was watching with my buddy, and then you come out, and your face looked like green.
Green, ooh.
And then I said, oh, my God, Dave's face turned green. Right? And then it turned like pink.
Ooh.
And then I realized it was my TV. It wasn't you.
You thought maybe it was a side effect of the surgery at first?
No, I knew that people don't turn green, pink, green, green, pink.
Yeah.
But I thought right at first you were green. I said, oh my God. So anyways, I'm going to get my TV fixed, which is a lot better than, you know, when you think about it.
Yeah. Well, easier probably too.
Than
now,
getting you.
I heard something that I thought was interesting, and
I get nervous. I get nervous around sick people. I know you're not sick.
I'm fine. I'm not sick.
Yeah.
I've been through a rather strenuous procedure.
No, I know.
But I'm not.
Oh my God, I know. I know all about that stuff. I go to doctors all the time. Man.
You do, really?
Yeah.
You seem like you're in pretty good shape.
Well, I'm afraid of getting sick, though, man. I'm afraid of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't like. I go to specialists. I go to the Mayo Clinic every day.
Oh yeah, they're pretty good up there.
They're great.
You got some top boys.
Yeah, because I used to go to general practitioners, GPs.
Yeah.
Those guys suck. I don't even understand what they're general. They're not a specialist in anything. So they're kind of like, yeah, I'm a little bit good at everything. You know. So I go, give me a physical. You know what they do? They go like this. They poke around my belly. You know what I mean? And then they take a thing. They look at my ear with a light.
Yeah.
Right? I go, oh, is everything all right there in my head? My entire head's good, huh?
They can see the entire head.
They go, yeah, everything's all right there. Then they take the thing. It's almost like a cartoon. Like they hit my knee with a mallet.
The reflex mallet, sure, yeah.
And that never comes back negative, you know. I mean,
you're hooked up.
Right.
Sometimes it might, but you're hooked up pretty good.
No, they go, you're not. Good news, you're not paralyzed from the neck down. Your knee responds to me hitting it with a hammer.
Now, Norm, I heard.
But thank God,
he's not done. He's just resting.
Thank
now,
God, I miss you though. I
want to ask you a question about your personal life, and if it's none of my business, please tell me. Now, I heard that you had given up. You had a recreation. You had a hobby, gambling. You enjoyed gambling.
Yeah, I had the hobby of compulsive gambling.
Really? And you've given it up?
Yeah.
Well, good for you. That's a big step.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's that going?
It's not much fun. Life isn't much fun without it.
Really?
No. It's not a lot of fun because there's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't watch games anymore because I used to bet on the games. It was very exciting. I don't go to Las Vegas. The thing about it is you start feeling like a big jackass, you know, because you lose so much money, and then they think they're fooling you. Like you go to casinos, right?
Yeah, sure.
And they're friendly to you. Like the bigger jackass you are, the more friendly they are. You know? Like you know you're in trouble when a guy runs up wants to give you free stuff. Hey, you want a steak? You're like, no, that's all right. Free, man. I'll buy you a free, like some beef. You're like, no, that's all right.
That's just to keep you gambling is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you want to stay here in the hotel, like, for free for a week? You're like, no, I'm just here for the day.
Yeah.
No, seriously, and I got some steak.
Yeah. Did you ever win really, really big? I don't know much about gambling. I don't know much about this compulsion. So, but did you ever win big? Is that the point, or is it just the action?
I don't know. I went to a psychiatrist. You ever go to those guys?
Yeah, sure.
You do?
Sure.
Those guys are horrible.
Well, are they worse than the GPs?
They're much worse. I'll tell you what a psychiatrist does, man. They make you, like, get in touch with the emotions that you spend your life trying to avoid at all costs.
That's so good. Well, I'm glad you're not gambling.
This one woman, man, she was like, what do you do? And I'm like, hey, man, you know, everything's fine. She's like, no, but why?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I'm like all emotional. Like you on Monday night where you were emotional, you know when a guy's like not a regularly emotional guy like you,
right?
And then they are emotional,
right?
It's like it's like watching Nixon cry or something. Like,
I wasn't really crying. I wasn't break down and sobbing or anything.
No, it was a great moment. It was a great moment.
Oh, yeah.
And when you brought the doctors out
right.
and all that and the staff, and all I could think of is at that hospital, what about the people that come in?
Well, I felt bad about the guy they left on the table. Yeah, that's too bad.
You're a good man. It's so good to have you back. I've been having to watch Rhoda on the Channel 6.
Right. Now, when we come back, I want you to tell the story. Every time you've been here, we didn't have time to get to the story. The first time you got drunk and passed out. Okay, we'll do that.
Right.
We'll be right back here with Norm MacDonald. with Norm MacDonald. It's a great story, and we always run out of time, and I want you to tell it. And you were a kid, right? And this is the first time you got drunk?
When I got drunk, yeah. I was a very straight-laced kid, you know.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 18, 19 years old, and I decided to drink, you know. And I was out with my buddies at a bar. My God, we started drinking. They had those shooters, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, those are hard to take, you know. You can't gauge them, you know. And before you knew it, I was so crazily drunk, like just drunk out of my mind. And so then time passes in a weird way and everything. And my friends, they wanted to leave the bar.
Right.
Like, hey, let's go, right? And I'm like, ah! I got like crazy all of a sudden, right? So I'm like, why should I leave? We're having fun here at the bar. You guys leave if you want, right? So they go. And I'm making friends with everybody, man. There was a fat guy with a beard, you know? And there was a jukebox. It was like a Western movie, you know what I mean? And there's a bartender. There's all kinds of ladies and everything like that. And everybody's my friend, right? So I'm getting drunker and drunker with these shots, you know, and they're all crazy, dirty sex name shots, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
Here, have a dirty sex, you know, like, whatever. They make you order them to humiliate you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You know, you're a drunk loser. You're like, yeah, can you have sex with me? Just come on. So anyways, I get all drunk, and then I go into the bathroom, and a dude gives me some pills. He has some pills.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to ever mix pills with booze.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then any doctor...
They told you up at the Mayo Clinic?
Yeah. But this guy was not a doctor. He was just a guy I met in the bathroom.
Even worse than a GP.
He was worse than a GP. His name, though, was Dr. Midnight. But I found out he was not accredited.
Not really a doctor, no. Yeah.
So anyways, so I take these pills, and what they do is, they say that you're not supposed to mix them, but on the other hand, in one way it works. So I'm like so drunk now and having so much fun and everything. Hey, fat bearded guy, having an arm wrestle with him. I don't know how to arm wrestle. Then all of a sudden I'm playing pool. I go to shoot a thing of pool and I fall down right in all the pool balls. And then I just black out. What's called blacking out. Yeah. It's not passing out.
You black out.
You don't remember anything.
Oh, yeah.
I wake up, right? I'm in a bed, but it's not my bed, you know? And I look beside me. Who do I see? The fat bearded guy. So I go, holy Lord God, I had sex with the fat bearded guy. Right? And at this point in my life, I was a young man. I had never had intercourse in my life.
Right.
And I'd always imagined it, but I never imagined it that way. You know?
No, I wouldn't think so, no.
I imagined a nice lady in a dress.
That's right. But there's got to be a first time for everybody.
It's not all gravy.
No.
So I look over and I go, oh my God. Then I notice we're in twin beds there. You know, we're not not in the same bed. Right. And I go, is this some kind of one of them old-fashioned gay guys?
I don't know.
There's no such thing.
No.
Gay guys are generally not old-fashioned. They're right on top of the latest thing. They're happy.
They're happy. Right on top of the latest thing.
Yeah,
that's right, Norm.
And they're so ahead of things, they have sex, and they don't even use a lady. So anyways... the upshot of the story is, what happens is I never had sex with this fat guy with a beard. This guy had checked me into a rehab. This guy was like a dirty drunk, and he took me for a dirty drunk too,
sure, yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? He says, yeah, man, you know, I'll go here in rehab, man. It's good for both of us. And I'm like, yeah, I got. So I had a big, like a robe on and fluffy slippers. They wouldn't give me my clothes, right?
Oh, how long were you in?
They had a bag of my clothes somewhere. They wouldn't tell me where it was.
Would they let you out?
No, 3 days I had to stay.
3 days?
Yeah.
That's awful.
They made me go to what is called an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, right? And I get up, I go, hey, I'm not an alcoholic, which it turns out is what a lot of alcoholics...
They all say that, yeah.
I said the fat bearded guy. There's the alcoholic right over there.
How long did you guys date?
No!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Norm MacDonald. We'll be right back. You know, Norm, what I like about you, you're actually funny. You know what I mean? You're just genuinely funny.
Oh, you're a nice
Everything
man.
you say is funny. Thanks to Norm MacDonald and John Goodman. Monday, Drew Carey will be here and Dolly Parton, and I will be back Monday for that big program. Have a great weekend. Craig Kilborn is next. Good night, everybody.
The Late Show is a production of Worldwide Pants Incorporated. This is Alan Coulter saying good night and drive safely.
Cuff your